Welcome to the Pro Wrestling with Wisdom show. This is episode 3. We got a lot to get into today. We got 2 pay-per-views we're going to be taking a look at, including TNA Bound for Glory, Crown Jewel Perth. We got some WWE cuts, some injury news, and a former legend in professional wrestling yet again being another piece of work. Let's get into the news. Let's get through the bad news of releases. Then again, there's also bad news of injuries, but I want to get into the releases first. Over the past, since last time we talked on the show, there was a boatload of releases that have happened from WWE. There was originally 12, but there turned out to be a 13th release, mainly from the LFG and the NXT side, but it sucks that these guys have to lose their jobs. I'm going to get into the list of the names right here. Zara Zucker, Zeta Steele, Kylie Ray, Jamar Hampton, Braden BJ Ray, Summer Sorrell, Hayes Jamison, Draco Knox, Jin Tala, Stevie Turner, Lance Anoa'i, and Wesley were released originally. But the first release I want to get into is the one that I'm a little surprised in. Well, not in surprise that it happened, but surprised in the timing of it. Ridge Holland. Now, if you don't know, Ridge Holland has been a part of WWE for many years. If you remember him, he was part of the Brawling Brutes faction when Sheamus was leading that faction with Ridge Holland and Pete Dunne, because I refuse to call him by the Butch name. Thanks, Vince. Great name change there. It didn't really work out for him, and he was in NXT. He was a part of Chase U, and they pretty much ended Chase U just to make Ridge Holland look strong, and obviously that hasn't worked out, and he basically let us know that in November, his contract is going to be expiring, and it will not be renewed, and I gotta be honest with you, look, he gets a lot of heat from professional wrestling fans, and Lord knows how many times I've probably given the guy. Him and Nia Jax, I've given a lot of heat to because of how they injure people in the ring. But I really do feel for the guy, mainly because not only in the timing of his release, but apparently he was like owed money. He wasn't paid for his appearances at TNA, and he's currently injured. Like, he's dealing with a Liz Frank injury right now, and getting released while you're injured is an absolute low blow. I don't care what company you're a part of, what person you are, or what type of wrestler you are. Nobody should ever get released while they're injured. They got hurt in your ring, even though he got hurt in TNA's ring. They still got hurt while under contract with you. And TNA really should, like, if he wants, signs there. But it really is a low blow that they decided to release him while he was injured. But to be honest, well, then again, his contract was expiring, but still, you can't do that while a wrestler is injured. But with Ridge Holland, I just got to say, it doesn't shock me. I mean, let's be honest here. He was done in WWE the moment the Big E match happened. He was in, I believe, a tag match where Ridge Holland actually gave a suplex to Big E, and Big E landed right on his head on SmackDown and broke his neck. And we haven't even seen Big E in the ring wrestling ever since. And I think he's done, because he personally said he's more transitioning into the backstage role, which sucks because I loved Big E. But ever since that moment happened, he was done. I mean, he never regained the reputation from the fans. I mean, Lord knows he got death threats from that, which are super uncool. But the moment that he laid that move on him and broke Big E's neck, it followed him everywhere he went. Like I said, they tried rebranding him in NXT. I mean, they put him in the Chase U faction. They ended Chase U, which that was a tremendous mistake, and it's clear they're going to try to bring Chase U back into NXT. But Ridge Holland, you know, like, he could never escape that moment. I really do feel for the guy. Like, things happen in professional wrestling, like they do. And Ridge Holland had no ill will towards it, but he just never could overcome it, which sucks. Where do I think he goes? Honestly, I don't know. First off, he's got to heal from that Liz Frank injury that he suffered in TNA with a match, I believe, against Moose. And speaking of Moose, he basically went onto social media basically saying that TNA should do right and sign Ridge Holland to a contract. Like, he wants Ridge Holland in TNA. I wouldn't be shocked if TNA does bring him there. I don't know if they're still bad heat because he was still back owed on some money for matches he worked from WWE and TNA. But I mean, if Moose requests him, I could absolutely see TNA giving him his guy. And heck, maybe you could have him and Moose have either a feud or a tag team. Like, there's plenty of options you could do there for Ridge Holland. But we're like, the independent circuit's hot right now. It is. I could see him doing indies again, but I don't see him going to AEW. I mean, if he wants to go to New Japan, he can, but I think he's going to go the independent circuit route or go to TNA with Moose. But yeah, it absolutely sucks that he got released while he was injured, which is unacceptable. Going back to the original releases I mentioned, there's 3 releases I wanted to talk about, even though some were in the WWE ID program, some were in LFG. 3 releases I just want to talk about because I was surprised in. I want to start with Wesley. This came out of nowhere for me, and it really shouldn't have, because I can't remember the last time Wesley wrestled. He was a part of the Rascals over in TNA, and we'll get to the Rascals in a bit when we talk about the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. He turned heel, and I actually liked Wesley's North American Championship run. I thought he was great as the champion there until he lost the championship to Dominic Mysterio. Go back and watch his match with Dominic Mysterio. That was really good. But it was telling that he wasn't really being used in NXT, and he was like sporadically used throughout 2025, which is really crazy to me because like he had such great like heat coming off of the heel turn. There was so much potential with Wesley. I mean, like, you could easily have had him go to the main roster, which I thought like the plan was for the 30-year-old to go to the main roster, and it's clear that wasn't the case. I just don't understand why they let him go with so much potential. I think his best move is to go back to TNA. He's already renamed himself Desmond Xavier because he was very tremendous in the TNA back when they were Impact Wrestling. I could see him going back to TNA, and heck, you could even do another feud with the Rascals if you wanted to. I mean, he did betray Zachary Wentz, Trey Miguel. Myron Reed's there, but you could easily, and I mean easily, put him in TNA and going after them. Wesley's super talented. I'm just shocked that they decided to let him go with all the potential he had. And I think he would have been great in the mid-card scene for the main roster, but obviously WWE didn't see it that way. But, you know, his heel turn, it was really good. I liked what they were doing with him. It's just, I was speechless with it. Very, very speechless. Another name I want to get into, 2 more names for these cuts. Stevie Turner. She made her way from the NXT UK brand to this was during the time when NXT UK was going down the tubes. Then COVID hit, and they brought her over to NXT. And to be honest, like, she was on the co-assistant general manager. She was basically the co-assistant general manager to Robert Stone under Ava's watch. But it seemed like she was carving out a little nice niche market for herself as an authority figure role, but she didn't really stand out too much. And I mean, I'm just a little surprised that they clearly saw something in her to bring her over to the NXT side. And like, she was even dubbing herself as like the prime minister of Evolve as well. And for the 4 years she had there, it was kind of hit or miss. And I know she is married to Kit Wilson of the Pretty Deadly tag team, which Pretty Deadly to me is pretty dead. Like, I've given up long with that faction the moment they got called up to the main roster, and it's just not been great. But yeah, she's being released. I don't know where she goes from here. I think she'll be going to the independent circuit. Stevie Turner, like, in the ring, like, she's still a little green, but I think her as a manager would be very interesting if she wants to go to the independent circuit, whether it's in the UK market or if she wants to go stick it to the United States, or Like, I think there's potential in there for her to be a manager, but it was clear WWE did not see her as that, and they just wanted to move on from her. So, wanted to keep her because she had an authoritarian role. Next up, and this one was a shock to me. Lance Anoa'i from the Bloodline. Remember when his name got brought up as being like the fourth guy for the new Bloodline with Solo Sikoa? When Jacob Fatu was coming in, Jeff Cobb came in. There was expected to be the fourth guy. I mean, Hikuleo, who's calling himself Tala Tonga. Get it? Because he's tall and he's a part of the Tongans. He's tall. Get it? Tall. Tala Tonga. Because he's tremendous. Humor, am I right? Anyways, Lance Anoa'i was rumored to be a part of that group, or maybe a part of Roman's group when he returned, but I thought like him being in the tree would usually come with like some sort of job security. But then again, I said this when Manu was a part of WWE in like the late 2000s with WWE, but Manu got released. He was a part of the Randy Orton faction, if I remember correctly, with Legacy. It just didn't work out for him there. When I'm looking with Lance Anoa'i, the one word is injuries, and he even said it himself, he has not had good luck at all. And ever since arriving, due to injuries, he's just hasn't been able to really do much in NXT and in WWE, and it just felt like it was like too many injuries, too much for Lance Anoa'i, which really blows. Lance Anoa'i, he's got talent, but it's clear the injury bug really affected him. And I just thought, like, with his name being a part of the Anoa'i family, and his father being Samu, I just felt like that they would have probably given him more time to, be involved. I don't even think that he, I don't even think he even wrestled in NXT at all, if I remember correctly. I remembered he did have a random like jobber matches. Like I remember that he was an enhancement talent when he was facing the Ascension in 2015 in a tag team. Even with the Authors of Pain, he did have a tryout in 2019. Yeah, I remembered like you mean another appearance where he faced Shane McMahon. Like he did have chances, but his injuries really affected his career in WWE and NXT. As for where he goes, to me, if I were him, MLW would be the perfect place for him. I think he would be perfect operating that market again. If you wanted to go with a more marketable place, he could even do independent circuit. But here's the thing with Lance Anoa'i, and I think he would be perfect for this if he wants to go there. He may be 33 years old, but I think he would be perfect in that role. I think him in New Japan would be very interesting. New Japan could use some stars. You could even have him be in TNA as well with Enzo Amore's group or Real One. I'm surprised that Anoa'i got let go. He is the Roman Reigns' cousin. He's a part of that family. I was just surprised. His injuries must be really bad to the point where WWE just had enough, or they just didn't feel like he was as good as they thought he would and wanted to try something else. So those were the 13 names released. I wish him the best, whatever they do next. Let's go into one of the pay-per-view reviews. I'm going to start with Crown Jewel, since it was the WWE show and we were talking WWE a bit. 5 matches. Overall, it was a good show. I mean, there were a few moments in the show. It was kind of like hit or miss. Bronson Reed defeated Roman Reigns via pinfall. That came out of nowhere. I legitimately thought that Roman was going to win, but I thought about it through. Bronson Reed needed that win badly. He's been taking so many pins as of lately, and him being in Australia, pinning one of a wrestler who rarely gets pinned, like Cody last pinned him, and besides Cody pinning him, I think the last time Roman got pinned was by Baron Corbin, when I think he was going under the King gimmick. That was completely awful. But yeah, this makes Bronson Reed look strong. Roman accidentally spearing Jey Uso, and then him saying afterwards, "I don't want to see you till Christmas." I think we're going to see him at Survivor Series War Games. That I just don't see him waiting till December to return. If they do, that will surprise me. I think Roman will be involved in War Games this year. And here's another thing with Roman. I get he's a part-time guy, but every time he has these returns, I just don't get excited anymore. Because, I mean, with the amount of returns that you have, it's getting to the point where, like, oh, well, welcome back. I mean, it loses its luster. I get it's Roman Reigns, but, but I'm glad that Bronson got the win. He's great. I love Bronson Reed. And his tsunami finisher, especially when Wade Barrett comments it, is awesome. Really, really awesome. Let's get to the next match. Stephanie Vaquer versus Tiffany Stratton for the Crown Jewel Championship, and whoever wins gets the ring. Let's be honest here. They only gave that ring gimmick, the Crown Jewel ring, just so that they can bring MJF in whenever he chooses to leave AEW, just so that they could have him win that entire bracket, and so he could do his ring gimmick in WWE. I mean, let's be real here. That's the only reason why they brought that. And WWE is going to have MJF win it. Because it's the ring's a part of MJF's gimmick. So that's why I think they did it. Overall, not the cleanest match in the world. I mean, I still think Tiffany Stratton is still injured or wrestling injured. Especially after that crazy bump she took in the Jade Cargill match where she did a moonsault and landed on her head, and Nia Jax yet again injuring her in the middle of the match. I mean, what else is new? I've lost track how many times Nia Jax has been dangerous in the ring. Very nice lady, but there's so many times you get to defend her. But in the match, they decided to have Stephanie Vaquer win, which, to be honest, I'm a little surprised they did because I thought Tiffany Stratton needed to win more. But it's clear WWE is pushing Stephanie Vaquer very hard. And by very hard, I mean very, because they're already giving her the Women's Championship on Raw, the main one. I thought she would be the Intercontinental Champion at this point, but she's now the Raw Women's Championship. They're really pushing her as the next big face on WWE. And I don't blame them. She's got talented, but if you overpush someone like she's been, it's going to get to a point where the crowd won't get over for her. And look, her finisher is great. The Devil's Kiss is great. I love Stephanie Vaquer. I love what they're doing. It's just, I hope they don't push her to the point where it's not going to work. But I like her. I really do. Her English has gotten a lot better, by the way. I watched her Chris Van Vliet interview. She is getting better with the English. She really is. And I like her. Stratton, I mean, I'm surprised she's held this belt as long as she has. I mean, I would not be surprised if he loses that belt sooner rather than later. I could see her maybe losing it at Royal Rumble or at WrestleMania. But, we'll see where it goes from there. The greatest match, but overall good. Next match. John Cena versus AJ Styles. Man, I love this match. This is my favorite of the show. First off, AJ Styles pulling the old TNA look where he's not in his long pants, he's in his shorts. It's just amazing. It's weird, but it's nice. It's a nice blast from the past. John Cena coming out for one of his final matches. He's on his retirement tour. I've been disappointed with John Cena's retirement tour, especially with the failed heel run. The heel turn was great. The heel run was absolutely terrible. And the Brock Lesnar match was a wasted match. And I honestly, I don't care what anyone says, I never want to see him and Brock Lesnar share a ring ever again. Never, ever again. But I don't know what WWE is going to be doing for there. AJ is amazing too. The last time I'm surprised WWE didn't book this as the last time ever, like they did with John Cena and CM Punk, John Cena versus Randy Orton. I liked it. I really, really liked it. And now I saw a lot of people saying, oh, they spam too many other finishers, like this and that. They're paying tribute to their common foes. And look, John Cena's not going to be wrestling every one of his former foes. I mean, he should have during his final year, but they wasted his appearances on this final run. But hey, I'm not going to complain about it. Overall, good match. My favorite match of the show. So really good. Next up, tag match, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley versus the Kabuki Warriors. Doesn't surprise me that Rhea and Io won. I mean, it's Rhea in Perth. She's going to win. I thought she was going to take the belt off of whoever the Raw Women's Champion was, but obviously I didn't realize it was a Crown Jewel, and Crown Jewel was doing the champion versus champion in the ring stuff. And obviously, if you can't do that, Io got betrayed by Asuka and Kairi Sane. Well, mainly Asuka. Kairi Sane is just tagging along with them. Rhea winning doesn't surprise me with Io Sky. I like what where they're going with her. It's clear it's not done yet with Asuka and Io Sky. I think that's going to be a feud that gets booked for a good bit of time. You could even probably maybe. This is why I wish Dakota Kai wasn't released, because if Dakota Kai was there, you could easily have her having to choose the side of either Io or Asuka's side. But of course, Dakota Kai's not with WWE anymore. Surprisingly, she hasn't signed anywhere that I can remember. And who knows where Kairi Sane will go? Not Kairi Sane. What am I saying? Who knows where Dakota Kai will be going to next? But overall, predictable match, good shot, good match, solid, but we'll see. Final match, Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes for the Crown Jewel Championship. I thought with Stephanie winning, they were going to do the both faces win the Crown Jewel Championship. So with Seth Rollins coming out here for the win was great. No help from anybody, like none. And I thought I made him look strong. However, that's not the finish of this match isn't what's being most talked about. Seth Rollins during that match hit like a coast-to-coast headbutt move, and he landed awkwardly on his shoulders. Well, you could tell during the match as well, he was grabbing his shoulder. Like, it's clear there was something going on there. And it turns out there may actually be, because on Monday Night Raw, Division, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed turned on Seth Rollins, which came out of nowhere to me, especially with how all this has been going on with the Vision being booked high. I thought they were going to keep them together until WrestleMania or by the Royal Rumble. But that tells me the fact that they're breaking them up. This Seth Rollins shoulder injury is legit. It's not like what happened with Saturday Night's Main Event where he had the knee injury and he was kayfabing it. I think he's legitimately hurt here, because that's the only reason why I could see the Vision being broken up this early. And if it wasn't because of the injury and it was due to creative, then I don't know what the heck they were doing. I mean, there are photos of Seth as well in a sling, which is super concerning as well. But I personally, and there's an expectation that he's going to be undergoing shoulder surgery for a torn rotator cuff. Now, it's not fully confirmed yet, but if that is true, that he needs to go under surgery for a torn rotator cuff, that absolutely blows, and he's going to vacate that belt if it is the rotator cuff injury. Want to know why I think he'll have to vacate it if it is? Look at Chad Gable. Chad Gable is currently injured right now with his rotator cuff injury, and we haven't even seen him since. It's been a while, and I don't think we'll see him for many more months to come, unless they want to do an El Grande Americano match between him and Ludwig Kaiser. I mean, we'll see there, but I think Seth Rollins' injury is legit. It was so awkward, him landing, and even when Braun Breaker speared him, you could tell he was grabbing his shoulder. He was like, there's obviously an injury going on with Rollins, and who knows what's going to happen with that belt if he has to vacate it. But Bronson lifted up the belt and, posed with it. Paul Heyman sided with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. So who knows where we'll go from there. If it were my opinion, what I think Seth is legit hurt here. I really hope he isn't going to need the rotator cuff surgery, which I've been hearing. But I don't expect him to wrestle anytime soon. I mean, if he wants to do War Games, I don't think he'll wrestle too much, and he'll probably have to go onto Roman's side. I mean, it just feels rushed with the whole Vision stuff, and I think I'm expecting the worst with Rollins' injury, but we'll see. He has fooled us before. But yeah, that's my Crown Jewel Perth review. I wanted to dive in a little bit to the Seth Rollins news. Speaking of those injuries, I want to do a little bit of the injury roundup. of other people, notable names that are injured. I want to start off with AEW. Taz underwent shoulder surgery. He needed to get his shoulder replaced. We probably won't be seeing him in commentary for a little bit, which blows. I know not a lot of people are big fans of Taz, but I have a soft spot for Taz because he's actually a Long Islander. I have a fascinating fact I once told when I was doing ringside back in the day. Hook. Hook, who is Taz's son, went to my high school. I mean, I didn't really communicate with him. It was, stay in your lane, stay in my lane. And high school wasn't the greatest for me. It was a really dark place for me at that time. But I know Hook went to the same school I went to. And I think it's really cool that that's the case. And I know that Taz goes to a lot of the areas I go to. I think he goes to the church I go to. So it's really amazing seeing Taz in the area and knowing that Taz's son was at the high school I was. So I have a soft spot for Taz. I loved him in ECW as well. I really wish WWE booked him better, but injuries and bad booking really killed him. But yeah, that's Taz. He's getting his shoulder surgery. I mean, the grind of professional wrestling is just, it really is brutal with what these wrestlers go through, especially during the old ECW time. And I'll even mention this, ECW legend Raven basically went on the Ariel Helwani show and admitted that he has early onset Parkinson's disease, which is a cruel disease. And it goes to show like the cost of professional wrestling to your mind, to your body. Parkinson's is one of the worst diseases in the world, and I wish nothing but the best for Raven in his battles with his health issues. But he is open and honest about it with Raven. And I remembered him mentioning as well during the show, like how bad his health issues have been. Like he had to get his knees replaced in 2022. Both knees, actually. He basically pulled a Goldust Dustin Rhodes, where he had to get both of his knees replaced. Shoulder replacement surgery in 2023. He also had like a spinal stenosis flare up in 2024, and now he has Parkinson's disease. It's been hell for Raven. It really has been. I wish him nothing but the best with his recovery. Another injury I want to get into here. Queen Aminata. I just found this out when I was going on to record this episode. Queen Aminata, if you don't know, she wrestles in AEW and with Ring of Honor. She basically has her own podcast. I just listened to it, and she's apparently admitting that she has a bit of a knee injury. And while she doesn't know how long she'll be out, it sounds like she's going to be out for a chunk of time, which blows. Like, and, not a lot of people like Queen Aminata, but it's clear that locker room is big fans of her. She's become like a leader backstage, not only in the Ring of Honor side, but in the AEW women's locker room side. But yeah, that blows with her knee injury. And I hope she has a smooth and easy recovery. And speaking of injuries, let's go to Kota Ibushi. Now, if you haven't, at this point, I did upload a separate video talking about Kota Ibushi's injury. I recorded that like the moment, like a day afterwards, the injury occurred, and I wanted to wait releasing it until we got more information on it. And it turns out like his knee injury was legit, and it's a broken femur bone. And the worst part is like he will not be returning to the ring, Kota Ibushi, for 2 years. 2 years of no Ibushi. So we are currently in October of 2025. We might not even see Kota Ibushi till 2027. And that's if everything goes to plan. We might not even see Kota Ibushi until 2028 in the ring. And who knows if he's never going to be the same wrestler he once was with this type of injury and him being out for 2 years. I mean, the first year is with recovery. I mean, he's got to relearn how to walk. He's got to relearn how to run. He's got to relearn how to do all these things with his broken femur bone. I remembered when I broke my femur. It was another brutal injury that I had. This was when I was playing football, and I decided to that was the moment I kind of knew I was done with football. I did do it previously, but yeah, femur bone's not good to recover. And with Ibushi, he really, I said before, I'll say it again, I really worry for this man long term, like beyond the ring. And with this injury, I really hope he like decides to look himself in the mirror. If he wants to go for one more match after he's fully healed up from the ring, go ahead. But he's made of glass. He really is. And that's why there was a risk in AEW signing this man for 2 years. And of course, he was close to Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks as well. He could easily transition into a producer or a coaching role in that company. And he's never going to be the same guy. Like I said, broken femur bone is tough to recover from. And if I'm Kota Ibushi, you have to think about retirement. I mean, he had the bad shoulder injury. He broke both of his ankles. I mean, he almost retired in 2024 due to how bad his ankle injuries were. And he had to like crawl to everywhere. Like it was brutal what happened. And you know, it absolutely blows with Kota Ibushi. My thoughts and prayers go out to him. If you want, I just hope he has a good recovery. It just blows with him. I want to get into before we get into TNA Bound for Glory. I want to get into a little bit of some Just Incredible news. I missed this. This was something that occurred last week, but I wanted to mention this. Shout out to Justin Romero. Justin Romero is a very notable man. Like he does a lot of the podcasts with Dutch Mantel. He does episodes with Stevie Richards. And he basically was talking about Just Incredible, basically going onto social media claiming he has some dire financial problems. He needs to send money and et cetera, et cetera. There's a history of Just Incredible being really a piece of work. Like he no-showed events. He was involved in merchandise frauds. He's soliciting money, posting fake medical photos on social media, and like claiming dire issues when they weren't as dire. He posted a photo not too long ago of him basically covered in like these EKG stickers with like no wires. He like put all over himself. He didn't bother wiping his mouth before like eating, mustard. He looked like a mess. And Just Incredible has had a history of doing some really shady stuff and scamming people out of money. And I just can't get behind people like that. And with Just Incredible, you can't trust a word the guy. I mean, he didn't come off all that well at all when he was interviewed in that Dark Side of the Ring episode on the plane ride from hell. Then again, nobody came off well at all in that episode. And I just wanted Just Incredible to really stop with these shenanigans, because it's ruined his reputation and he's clearly not going to stop anytime soon. And it's something that really needs to get addressed here. So that's Just Incredible. Let's get into some Bound for Glory review. We'll review Bound for Glory and then we'll call it an episode. TNA Bound for Glory. It's their big show for TNA. It's basically their version of WrestleMania. Overall, it was a really good show. I mean, the Elegance brand, Ash by Elegance was injured, and she apparently she's planning to retire, which sucks because she had the champion. On the pre-show, she had a tag match with the Inspiration facing off against the Elegance brand for the TNA Knockouts Championship. It was a quick match. The Inspiration won. That doesn't really surprise me. I mean, with Ash by Elegance's injury, Heather by Elegance and M by Elegance are involved. I just don't see them really holding those belts now that Ash by Elegance is injured, so that's fine. So we get into the main show here. First off, we have Steve Maclin versus Frankie Kazarian for the TNA International Champion. Look, Steve Maclin, if you don't know this, he used to wrestle Steve Cutler in WWE, part of the Forgotten Sons. The Forgotten Sons were often forgotten about in WWE, but out of everyone in that faction, I liked Steve Cutler. He got released due to the pandemic. I remembered him. There's a story about him and Deonna Purrazzo. They were going to a party during COVID, and they got a lot of heat for it without telling it or letting people know from higher management. So that's that. Steve Macklin defeated Frankie Kazarian and actually captured the TNA International Championship, which is great. I love that Steve Macklin got the championship again. He deserves it. He's a hard worker, and I hope he has a long reign with the belt. Next up, we have Tessa Blanchard versus Gia Miller. It's a singles match. Oh, look, Tessa Blanchard, she's going to go down as one of the greatest what ifs because she was at one point in time one of the top wrestlers in TNA. She even held the TNA World Championship, but because of her bad attitude and the racism stuff, and her reputation hasn't really recovered since. And I mean, I don't know. I could see her going into WWE, but I just don't. I mean, she's too toxic, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with her. I mean, she beat Gia Miller. Gia Miller is a wrestler and a Vero manager. It wasn't a shock that Tessa got the win. It was not a good match. Tessa pinned Gia Miller, and that's all I'll have to say. Next up, we have the Intergender Call Your Shot Gauntlet. If you don't know, the Intergender Call Your Shot Gauntlet, this focuses on whoever wins receives a trophy and a contract that they can invoke any time in 1 year for a championship match of their choosing. Both men and women were in it, which I find cool. Participants, Li Ying Li, who used to wrestle Xia Li in WWE. We also had Mara Sade, Ryan Nemeth, Nick Nemeth, Cedric Alexander, who Cedric's contract, I heard it rumored, is not long-term, and his contract might be expiring soon, which I'm a little surprised at. I thought Cedric Alexander was going to be signed to a longer length contract. Rich Swann, another what if you know Rich Swann's story. AJ Francis, Travis Williams, BDE, the Rascals, which weirdly all three of them came in at the same time. Myron Reed, Zachary Wentz, Trey Miguel, Danny Luna, Eric Young, Jake Something, who deserves so much. I'm a Jake Something fan. I don't know what they've been doing with him in TNA. I just wish that he was utilized a lot more in that company. He still has a ton of potential. Even though he's 36 years old, I feel like he should be used a little more. Rosemary, the hometown man, Zach Clayton, Frankie Kazarian, who just lost the TNA International Championship at the time, Santino Marella, Matt Cardona, and Mance Warner. And after everybody who came into the ring, I forgot to mention as well, Jody Threat was the original 17th entrance, but Frankie Kazarian attacked her and then would take her spot in the match. And that pretty much showed me that he was either going to win or go to the end, which he did. Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth, they basically pulled a Bret Hart and Lex Luger, where both won the match and they both can challenge for it. They both got their trophies for it. I thought that, it was fine for what it is. I just think that it would have been better with Nick Nemeth as the champion, but it's clear they're planning something with Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler. Nemeth is great. Nick Nemeth is he's 45 years old, and he deserved so much better in WWE, but I'm glad he's getting this opportunity in TNA. I mean, it's clear he's not in AEW because of the way AEW treated Ryan Nemeth, and there's still heat with Ryan Nemeth in AEW, and I just didn't see him going there. But we'll see where they go from there. Kalani Jordan versus Indy Hartwell for the TNA Knockouts Women's Championship. I'm surprised Indy Hartwell didn't win this match. I get Kalani Jordan just won the championship. I believe she just won it at I believe she won it in, was it New? I think it was NXT Stand and Deliver, if I remember correctly. No, it was in a Battle Royal where they faced the TNA Knockouts Championship, and she actually defeated Li Ying Li for the belt. I'm a little surprised that on the biggest show that they wouldn't have her drop it to Indy Hartwell, who was very underrated. I loved Indy Hartwell, and I hated how things went for her in WWE, and I wish that she got that spot. But it's obviously with the partnership they want to keep that belt on Kalani as long as they thought. But next match, the System, Moose, Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers, aka Kurt Hawkins, Eddie Edwards, and JDC, Johnny Dango Curtis, aka Fandango, versus Order 4, Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steeles, Special Agent Zero, Jason Hotz, and John Schuyler in the hardcore war match. Overall, good match. System won. Not much really to say. It was a hard-hitting match, and I was enjoying myself. And then we get to Leon Slater versus Javon Evans, and I gotta tell you, Leon Slater is 21 years old. Javon Evans also is 21 years old. These two are so good at this age. Like, I can't imagine what these guys are going to look like when they're in their 30s. Like, they have so much potential. And, like, I'm a big Javon Evans guy. I boosted that guy up in ringside when I was there. I think Leon Slater has potential to be a tremendous star if TNA can get that TV deal, or if he wants to go to WWE when the time is right. Like, Leon Slater's great, and Javon Evans is great. What wasn't great was the end of this match where Dark State came out and attacked the two of them. It was a good match until that point happened. And at that point, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Come on. And when that happened, I was like, you know what? It's clear that they're going to be booking something. And as a result, Leon Slater still is the TNA X Division Championship. Next up, we have the Hardys versus Team 3D in an NXT and TNA World Tag Team Championship match. I gotta say, I remember when this first got announced at Slammiversary, I was nervous. I really was, because Devon has been dealing with a ton of health issues. I mean, I remembered reading as well, like, he almost died during the pandemic as well, like many years ago. And I was nervous about if Devon could actually finish this match properly, and luckily he did. This was a really fun match. And at the end, of course, the Hardys won, which wasn't a surprise. Team 3D, Devon and Bully Ray decided to retire from professional wrestling. And look, Bully Ray is another piece of work who I am not a fan of out of the ring, but inside the ring, he's great as a tag team with Team 3D, and he brought so many memories to the tag team market and professional wrestling by himself. If you liked Bully Ray and TNA, I wasn't a big Bully Ray guy myself. I was more of a fan of the tag team with Team 3D and the Dudley Boys, but it was time. There was a match for him to go out, for them to both go out on. That was it. I don't see Devon getting in the ring anytime soon with his health issues. I don't know what he decides to do. I know Bully Ray is absolutely getting paid by WWE as a corporate yes man. I mean, he really is a corporate yes man for them, and I think he's going to be doing more of an executive behind the scenes work there, and his radio show that he always does. He'll be an influence for them. Now, Bully Ray, he's a little bit of a bully, and I still think he doesn't really come off all that well when you look into the guy when it comes to like the Daphne stuff, when I reviewed the Dark Side of the Ring on Daphne. But hey, that was a good match for him to come out on. Main event, Mike Santana versus Trick Williams. About time Mike Santana won, by the way. This guy should have won in New York at Slammiversary. I did not understand the booking decision just to have Trick hold the belt as long as they did. I get Bound for Glory is their biggest show, but Slammiversary is also one of their biggest shows too. And it being in New York, Mike Santana being a big New York, like he's from New York if I remember correctly. Like Mike Santana should have won that belt at Slammiversary. I mean, I'm glad he did it now, and it was an emotional win because Trick is beloved in that locker room. But it was time. It's long been time for him to hold this belt. I'm excited to see what he does, and I got emotional seeing his daughter there and knowing his story, what he went through. And I'm glad he's now at the top of TNA. I really am glad about that. Overall, if I were to pick a show that was better, I like the TNA Bound for Glory show a little more than Crown Jewel Perth. But Crown Jewel Perth was a really good show as well. And that concludes the third episode of the Pro Wrestling with Wisdom show. I hope you enjoyed. I've been enjoying these episodes. Now, don't forget, hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications for more updates on Real Fresh's YouTube channel to other stuff that they cover on there. They're all great shows. I hope you've enjoyed. I'll be back here next week, and peace out, everyone. Bye-bye.